Welcome to part 3 of the farewell shop tour. My name is Robert Dailey and this is the Recreational Woodworker. Welcome to the last tour of my shop. In part 1 I did a quick little walkthrough. In part 2 I did 5 things I won't do again, or 5 mistakes I made in this shop. And in this shop I'm going to cover 5 things that I 100% will do again. If you look around my shop, you're going to see a lot of lighting, air conditioning, and a lot of 220 volt tools, a lot of big 110 volt tools all over the shop. In order to do that, I have to have really good electricity. So in my next shop, the number 1 priority will be a good sub panel installed. That way I can run all my wiring to have all my tools on separate breakers so that I don't have to worry about lights flickering, getting dimmer, or anything like that as I work in my shop. You hear that? That wind noise? That's because it's a perfect 70 degrees in here right now. So that is the second thing that I'll absolutely have in my next shop, a good AC system. Now, I know that a lot of you are going to say that that is a luxury, not a necessity. And if you're just in your shop on the weekends and evenings, maybe so. But I work in my shop 40 hours a week. And that AC unit has paid for itself multiple times over. It has paid for itself in productivity, especially. In the summer, we're looking at 100, 110. I've seen it get as high as 115 degrees where I'm at. That's hot. Even with all the doors up, fans blowing, air moving through, that is just too hot to be productive. So by having an AC in here and keeping it 75-ish degrees, we are able to be more productive. It makes us less tired when you get hot and tired and sweaty and don't feel great because it's so hot. You're more likely to injure yourself. So having that air conditioner unit keep the temperature low pays for itself in increased productivity. Having the AC also allows finishing whenever it's extremely hot and extremely cold. A lot of finishes have a temperature range of like 60 degrees to like 80 degrees. If you're outside of those parameters, your finish isn't going to set up correctly. So having that option whenever it is very, very cold or very, very hot, again, increases productivity. So if it gets too cold, your finishes can ruin and cause problems that way. So you don't want them freezing. Also, again, if you're cold and miserable in your workshop trying to get work done, you're not going to be as productive. I've also noticed that keeping my shop at around room temperature inside increases the stability of my furniture products, especially in wintertime when it gets really cold. We had some issues with tabletops splitting and cracking when they go from our shop when it's really, really cold into a house. That temperature change, and a few days later, I had a customer call me and said they heard a big crack in the middle of the night. They got up, looked, and their table had split in half. Warranty work is never fun. So keeping it that way makes it where our furniture just comes out better and we feel better. So that is a priority in my next shop. The third thing that I'll absolutely doing in my next shop is good lighting. Obviously I do YouTube, so having good lighting is essential to make the camera look good and to make my videos look good, or at least look decent, whatever. But good lighting's not expensive. I think I got these on Amazon for like 20 bucks a piece. I got them in like a 5-pack, so I got like 10 of these things for like $200, and I was able to completely light my shop. I'm taking these with me to the next shop, and so I'll just reinstall them. Probably mount them flush with the ceiling this time. I also have a friend who's going to give me some lights that he pulled out of a commercial remodel, some really good LED troffer light things that'll fit between the rafters. So having the good lighting, being able to see what you're doing, see your finishes, helps you make sure you're doing good work. And again, adds to that safety aspect of good electrical is safety, and productivity, good air conditioning, air quality management is safety, and good lighting is safety, and that just helps you be more productive. So that's the third thing, is have really good lighting. There will be an affiliate link to these lights if I can find them on Amazon. They serve me well. They're just shop lights that plug in to 110, all pull string control. You can see I just hang it from the ceiling. I'll probably just run a screw through that on the next one so they're flush against the ceiling. And then you can see, I mean, it's not super clean setup, but you see they just plug into each other. Of course, you could wire it up permanently as well. And the brand is Sunco. So the fourth thing that I'm doing in my next shop is my carts. I've done so many videos of these, it's got to be probably boring to you at this point. But in case this is your first time here, I built all my carts the same, where this drawer right here can go in this cart, that cabinet base, that cabinet base, that cart, or that cart, or it can go outside in my trailer. That has made it super easy to organize and rearrange my shop. I like these carts, the two bank units where I can customize my drawers accordingly. Those work really great. I'm going to do more of those, and of course take my Polk inspired workbenches with me. And the reason I lumped those together is because this drawer concept I actually got from Ron Polk from the Smart Wood Shop on his trailer builds, and that's where I started using this design, and then I've just refined it to suit myself better. And the fifth thing that I will 100% do again in my next shop is this wall-mounted panel clamp. I am going to rebuild it and refine it based on using this for like 2 years now, give or take. I am going to refine this and build a new version of it and then do a video on it. This is version 2 or 3 right here. But this makes it where I take my tables, I glue them up, they're out of the way. It's easy to glue them up because everything's right there. You put angle iron to hold it flat. It's just magical. I do a lot of tabletops. At least one a week, it seems like. Sometimes we were doing 2 or 3 a week, and being able to glue it up, have it out of the way, and that's probably going to be the one thing in my next shop that is permanently mounted, unless I can come up with a mobile idea for that. So that's it, guys. This is the final farewell shop tour of this shop. A lot of good has happened in this shop. This is where my business really came into its own. This is where my YouTube channel really came into its own. As I'm recording this, I'm sitting right over 20,000 subscribers. When we came to the shop, I think I had maybe 3,000 subscribers. So all that growth has happened in the years I've had this shop. So I'm gonna miss this place. Kind of getting emotional about it. I put a lot of sweat, blood, and tears into building out this shop to be the way I needed it to be. It wasn't always how I wanted it to be. There's a lot of compromises I made in the shop. A lot of it was finished is better than perfect. We need to make this improvement good enough and get going. So be sure to check out the 2 other parts of this series. Part 1 was just the quick walkthrough. Part 2 was the 5 mistakes I made. Yeah, for the 5 mistakes I made in this shop that I won't do again. And of course, this video was 5 things I'll do again. I do have more detailed shop tour videos from the first day that I was in this shop all the way into like a 20-minute walkthrough of my shop to show you everything in here. My job site trailer that I had built out as my shop at one point in time. Lots of different shops to check out. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week as we move in to the new shop space.